Welcome back to our chess story series, and today we go to the year of 1992, where Bobby Fischer loses one game to Boris Spassky. Even though they were both world champions, Fischer is most known for beating Boris Spassky to become world champion in 1972. What many people don't remember is that there was a second world championship match 20 years later. And once again, Bobby won the match, but he did not win this game, partially because of the opening, which I will focus on today, the closed Sicilian. We start off with the Sicilian defense, where White says, "Give me the center," and Black says, "No, you give me." And both of them are fighting for their respective squares. Now, if you want the open Sicilian, it would be knight of 3 and d4. And if you want the Alpine, then you try to get the humongous center with pawns. But a lot of people prefer not to open the center and keep it all closed. And so they either play knight c3 or knight e2 and then c3, like Boris in this game. This is a more shy approach. Now, how do we play this opening with this shy approach? We're not going to try to blow everyone up and try to attack their king right away. No, we're not coming after them right away. Instead, we're going to build up a slow attack. And that's the point of the closed Sicilian, is that as we take out the bishop here, our king is going to be safe. Our king will be castle with a nice house over his head. The knights are gonna help each other and make way for the attack, so they're not blocking the caveman on the f-file, and the caveman will start running along with the other kingside pawns. Now that the bishop is here, we no longer need to worry about our king, because he is safe forever. It's very hard to get to him. So in the meantime, all these pawns can be thrown like slippers at Black's king. And so let's see how we throw those slippers. As Black gets his pawns ready to go, we say, just in case, when you're coming here, I'm ready. I'll be ready for you. Okay, so Queen C7, Bobby, the great one, tries to get the pieces out. But is the queen well placed here? Not so much, I would say. F4. Very decent pawn push. He's getting ready for the pawn storm. It's a sort of siege. We're gonna siege Black with pawns, and at the same time open up the files for our rooks to checkmate them later. If they do nothing, we'll play h3, g4, bishop e3, get that queen in there sometimes, push the knight away, f5, f6, and go checkmate them on g7. We're not kidding. The good thing for Black is usually they would have this square, usually. In this case, Bobby said he doesn't need it, and he didn't really take it. But with a bishop on g7, the closed Sicilian evolves around the d4 square and making sure that Black doesn't allow d4. Because very often White will play d4 in two goes. He'll spend two tempos, two turns playing it, and then open up the position when it suits him, but not in this game. Okay, first things first, do we like our king open like that? No, just in case a train comes through one day, as the queen may do, let's get out of here. That way they'll never see us again. And the point of the closed Sicilian is that as our pieces all come out, we get the rooks joined, and we have many center pawn breakthroughs. We can get e5 or f5 or g4 and g5. Sometimes we can even play d4. Whenever the knight comes here, we usually move our knight and kick this guy back to where he came from. Um, Sometimes, if his bishop is on g7, we would even trade him off. But today he said, no, I'm just gonna start pushing those pawns. Before pushing, he gets ready. He makes sure that no one can hurt his bishop. Now that the bishops are safe, here we go. G4. We can kick back their knight, so he's not getting the center. So if he ever wants to play d5, he wants to part the center, I say, no, it is all mine. Okay, so at that point, Bobby said, wait, no, you don't have to do that. No, You go away. You want to kick me? I'll kick you. So he tries for the counterattack, but it's a little weird in this case because usually you'd want a pawn on a5, and we'll see why in a second. Bobby says, I'm gonna kick you. But as he kicks Boris, he realizes that, oh, wait a second. Oh no, my pawn, a6, no! And it's a backwards pawn forever because very soon we'll make sure it doesn't join his friend. He's stuck on this file, and we're firing at him for the rest of the pawn's life. Okay, usually people would try to play a5, then b4, take back with the pawn, open this line, invade on the a file, and eat everything on the picnic table. But that's not part of the plan because here g5 would come too soon. And if the knight has to run away, now we can start making way for our own knight, like here, 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 all the way to His Majesty on g8. So Bobby said, no, 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 I don't have time for that. Let's go. Fast, fast, fast. Attack, attack, hurry, hurry. And as he's trying to hurry and kick our knight, we fixed his pawn and say, you're not going anywhere, and start going against their king. Queen d2 connects the rooks, just in case. And Bobby says, look at my rooks. You think your rooks are connected? Look at my monsters of pure power. The tanks are coming. And before they came, we make sure that this guy doesn't go anywhere. Because if they get a pawn here, oh my goodness, this could be real ugly. This could be a nail pawn, and we talked about those. They're really unpleasant even in endgames. For that reason, we block him everywhere. And we start eyeing this outpost and saying, oh, maybe knight can come here one day. They try to help the pawns and keep them together, but it's not safer there because we can eat it even easier. Okay, now g5. What for? If it was a weaker opponent, you could say Boris was gonna checkmate them. Boris would be thinking about g6, nail pawn on g6, and let's go checkmate. But against Fischer, we don't think we're gonna checkmate them with like one rook, right? Even if you have two pawns running, pawns never really hurt anyone by themselves. They need support. So without the queen, we're not gonna checkmate. We will take away the square from all their good guys. No bishop on the long diagonal. That's the good thing. And we have space. But what we're really focused on is queen side. And we're coming after that queen side. Let's go. We get the second rook involved and say, you have a target, sir. Thanks for the backwards pawn. And as their knight is jumping to make way for their queen, Boris says, you know what? My knight will be really great here. He's protecting everything. You can't really touch him. You want to touch him? Go on. You can pet him. Pet him. Yeah, and he's gonna run all the way into your camp. Probably knight f5. And let's get going to your king side. Okay. So that could be one idea. In the game, Fischer said, you didn't let me there. I'm gonna come through here. So he gets the long diagonal at the end, but it's now too late because his poor pawn saying, help me, somebody help me! But no one can help it. The rook is too far. The knights are too far. The queen is not enough, insufficient. And so we're coming after the pawn and gobble gobble. After this point, after gobbling that pawn, it's all the way down for black, as you'll see. Bobby tries to blow up the center, tries to use those fiery bishops of his, but it's not enough. Even with our backwards pawn, which is not exactly fantastic on c2, even with that guy, our pieces are starting to come in, and they're actually pretty good. The rook is happy, knight is on the rim, but can be happy one day. Knight is centralized, bishops are firing away together. Okay? Whereas these knights are not sure what they're up to. Bobby tried to help those knights and say, you take me, I take you, I get outpost and coming for you. That could be a plan. The only problem is we don't have to take. We can just go back. We go knight e2. And if you want to take, you have to do it when we want you to, trade on our terms. And only when you take now, we're coming to d5. And if you want the outpost, you really want it for your knight, don't you? Okay, fine, we'll get rid of you. This is such a nice square. No one can touch the knight. It's really annoying, so we trade them. Okay, we're already up a pawn. We trade off their annoying guy and get our glorious knight to the glorious outpost. That's where he belonged. Okay, he's also eyeing a fork, and not much can stop him here. Okay, wherever the queen goes, I think knight d6, the fork is still coming. He tried to take a pawn, tried to run away with a pawn, and said, "You take me, I take you, and we're even." Fair? That's good? No, not good. Because after bishop e3, the queen still has to run away, and we still get the fork that we came for. The rest of the game was desperation. He didn't get much counterplay, and we'll go through it very quickly. But basically, the game is over here. With this amazing fork, we win the exchange. We trade the queens, which is even better for white. We go to the endgame, and look at our rooks in the endgame. Not so easy to fight against those monsters. Before it was black's rooks who were scary, and now they're gone, but white's rooks just started their party. Okay, the minors cannot fight against my rooks here, against my majors. Okay, so as we start to pinch their targets, so we pinch their king, we pinch their knight, they have to give up a pawn just to survive, because any other move lets us invade the picnic table with our piggies, and now the piggies will eat everything on the picnic table. Okay, they try to throw away a pawn. I'm happy to trade their bishop pair. That's fine with us. And we're coming in, so they don't even have time to do anything because we're coming. He has to try and block the attack. The king is eyeing the center because in any endgame we need to be close to this area so we can invade both sides. And the game finished shortly thereafter with bishop f1. Soon we bother his rook. Soon we take his knight and pick up his bishop. So how did we win this game? Partially because of that poor pawn, partially because of the monster fork. That's all true. And Bobby didn't have to give us those poor pawns. That being said, the opening was very nice. Because as we got the closed Sicilian bishop on g2, we could afford to throw the slippers at their king and take all the space and scare them into giving us gifts, like Bobby did later.